Hi guys, welcome to art. Today we're talking about Piet Mondrian. And this is something that Piet Mondrian would have done when he was painting. He was a Dutch artist and he was around in about the 1940s, and he was a very traditional Dutch landscape painter. But like many of those painters of that time, he got very bored with that work and started going completely another direction. And instead of painting stuff that looked very realistic, he started painting stuff more abstract. Piet's style of painting was a very strict geometry, where he only used horizontal lines and vertical lines to do his artwork. So we're going to make something today like Piet Mondrian would do. So this is what we're going to do, and actually you pronounce it Piet Mondrian. So we're going to get some white paper, and you're either going to, if you're in first grade, you're going to make a turtle, and if you're third through fifth, you're going to make a heart. So you first have to either start with a piece of paper and fold it in half, and you're going to start cutting like you're cutting a circle. And you're going to go round and round and round, and when you get almost all the way around, you're going to cut off down to the corner, and boom, you've got a heart. If you're going to be doing a turtle, you just get a lid to something, trace around it, and cut out your circle. And that's how you're going to start. You're either going to start with a heart, or you're going to start with a circle. So for my first and second graders, you'll need some kind of a round lid to trace in order to get your circle. And my third through fifth graders are going to fold their paper in half, start cutting a circle, and just round off to the point, and then that's how you get a heart, okay? If you don't want to do that, just use a square piece of paper. Either one will work just fine. Okay. The main thing you're going to do is use a ruler or some kind of straight edge. For this one here, I used a yardstick. And my lines have to be straight up and down. That is a vertical line. Or all the way across left and right. That is a horizontal line. So this whole thing is about horizontal and vertical lines. So there's two ways that you can do these projects. One, if you have construction paper, you can cut some little strips. You take your ruler, you line it up with the edge of your paper, you make a straight line, and you cut it. And you can either use black and white paper to do this, or you can just use pencils, okay? So if you don't have any construction paper to make the little strips, then all you do is you take your ruler on your circle or your heart, and you're gonna do some horizontal and vertical lines, okay? So you should be able to see what I'm doing. A vertical line is straight up and down. It's not crooked, it's not sideways, it's straight up and down, just like I'm standing. A horizontal line is from left to right, like the horizon, very straight. Again, not like this, but all the way straight across the paper. So your ruler has to be straight up and down or straight flat. Okay? All right. So I'm going to put a few lines on my heart. And I'm going to come across, and I'm going to move my ruler across the heart, and I'm going to do some vertical lines. And I made sure they were not the same size. There's a bigger space in here than there is in there. Can you see that? All right, now I'm going to do some horizontal lines. I'm going to do one all the way across, like that. But then I'm going to do one that my ruler goes all the way across, but I'm only going to do this square because I just want it to be different. So I'm going to lay it down, do that line, and I made another section. Do you see that? And then maybe I'm going to come down here and do another one. So now I'm just doing my horizontal lines, but I'm not doing them all the way across. I'm just doing a few. Maybe I'll do another one right here. But they're kind of, they can be skinny or they can be fat shapes. You can even do a long rectangle as long as your lines are only going horizontally and vertical. Then you've got some shapes on your heart, okay? Now you're gonna take your colors. You can either use crayons or markers, and you're gonna color some of the squares. But you're only gonna use red, yellow, and blue to do it, okay? So I'm gonna use markers, but you can use crayons, colored pencils, paint, whatever it is you have, okay? So I'm gonna color mine, and when I get through, it's gonna look like this, okay? Now, there's two things you can do. You can either take a glue stick and you can glue on your horizontal and vertical lines like this. You can glue them on top of the paper, or you can just get a marker. So I'm gonna get a black marker, and I'm going to go over my pencil lines now that I've colored it. And I'm just gonna stay right on those lines. You've got to hold your ruler with this hand real firm so it doesn't move, and then you've got to come back with your marker and make sure that your ruler doesn't move, or you won't have a straight line. And you don't want to go through all that trouble of coloring it and then not have a straight line, right? So you got to make sure that your ruler is all the way across the piece if you're going all the way across so that your line's not broken. And boom. I'm gonna add one more right here, and I guess I'll color that. How about if I color that one red? Okay. So I'm gonna come back with my markers, and boom, there's my Piet Mondrian, and I can glue it to a black piece of paper. Whoops. Like so. And there is my piece. Like I said, if you have strips, you can glue them on top. And once you get them glued down, you can just go around the edges and trim off the edges. But I always do the black lines last, like I color it first, especially if I'm using a watercolor marker, because they will run into the yellow if you try to do it. So you want to do those last. So you color it first. First you do your pencil lines, then you color it, then you put your black lines. If you're doing a turtle, the video shows you how to make the arms and legs. If you don't want to cut yours out, then you can just draw them on there. But you're going to start with lines, add your color, then put your lines. I hope you guys have fun with this. Bye.